Finally, this situation in our nursing homes clearly getting worse, and it's being driven by misguided government policy. The Australian reports today that at least 23 aged care homes around the country have closed in the last 9 months, mostly because the sector is struggling to stay profitable and to comply with the government's requirement to have a registered nurse on site 24/7. It's reported that 2/3 of private providers are now operating at a loss. Now, of course, it's preferable to have a nurse on site at all times, but insisting on a 24/7 nurse coverage, if that might cause some nursing homes to then close, well, that's just perverse. Then there's the government's insistence on a 15% pay rise for all aged care workers. I'm not saying they don't deserve a pay rise, but even if the government fully funds it now in the forward estimates, so just the next 4 years, over time, this is going to add pressures, cost pressures into the system. But why are taxpayers anyway borrowing money to fund the salaries of private sector workers in aged care? Why? It's beyond me. It's a shocking precedent because government should only pay the salaries of the people it employs. Typically, with Labor governments, it's the speed of the change as much as the direction of the change that's the problem. Now, I don't doubt the government's got good intentions here, but just about the worst thing that can happen to anyone in aged care is suddenly having to find somewhere else to stay, not having a bed. And yet this is what's happening to all those vulnerable Australians who once lived in those 23 homes that have now closed. The mark of a civilised society is how we treat our most vulnerable, and our older Australians should always have a bed if they need one. And we need more beds now, not less.